Good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? Yes, it's a bit early today. It's a good thing. It's the weekend. You can always go back to sleep. Or you can replay this later. Either way, let's start this show. Every time I think I got a handle on this thing, I come across some new information. Every time I have a question, well, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? And I turn around and find out, oh, they did do it about a year ago, about 5 years ago. So, let me update you on what I know so far. Well, today is that auspicious occasion when I change my oil. Maybe changing it for the last time this year. It depends on the weather. But I'm definitely changing it today. So I need to choose an oil that's going to keep it internals clean. Something that's going to, of course, lubricate the engine, and something that's going to last for the next 3 to 6 months. I could do 3 months if I have to, but I really want to know just how good these oils, these new versions of the oils, are supposed to last. For instance, this Quaker State, they've got a new version. Valvoline, they've got a new version. Royal Purple has 2 new versions and a couple of other ones. I wasn't about to buy one of every brand in the oil aisle. No, that just wasn't gonna happen. So we're just gonna go through a few of them that I picked up, starting with most people's favorite, Valvoline. So Valvoline says premium full synthetic extended protection. It also says it's Dexos approved. About that Dexos. What's up, man? Why y'all cheaping out? You don't come around here no more. Like, it's on the old bottle, the extended protection, it says Dexos. But the new bottle doesn't say Dexos. So, is it approved for GM vehicles or is it not? Somebody needs to let me know, because I would really not like to put this in my vehicle and then I have the same issue I had with the Malibu. Go 10,000 miles. Well, not even 10,000 miles. Get close to 10,000 miles, and I'm burning oil. At first I thought it might have been something with the engine. So I changed the oil, used Valvoline again, and the same thing happened. So Valvoline will not last a full 10,000 miles. Now, if you take a shorter interval, 5,000, maybe even 7 at the most. I would say 7,000 miles at the most. It'll work for you. After 7,000, you're going to start having issues. But that's only with the GM vehicles. not with the Ford and Chrysler. Why? Because Ford and Chrysler is what they tested the most. I'm assuming. And the reason why I assume this, because on both bottles, new and old, it actually says additional specifications, Ford, Chrysler. So as far as Ford vehicles, you good all day long. No worries. Especially if you're changing your oil every 5,000, 7,000 miles. That's just my opinion. I wouldn't push it past 7,000. So, but that's just me. But of course, if you don't want to worry about all that, there are other choices. Okay, Mobil 1, for instance. Mobil 1's been around a long time, maybe just as long as Valvoline. I'm not sure. I didn't do a history chronology. Excuse me. I didn't check to see how long they've been in business. What I can say is that I don't remember in recent memory using Mobil as an oil change. I've used a quart from time to time. In fact, with the Malibu, I was a quart low at one time before oil change using Valvoline. And I went into a local place, saw the Mobil. It was the right price at the right time, and it was a 530. So, yeah, I grabbed it off the shelf. And my foolishness thinking was, they're almost the same bottle, same color. Okay, I'll just grab it. It can't be too bad. They're borrowing colors from each other. I mean, really, look at these two bottles. Now, to the untrained eye, one might think that there's some big corporation that owns both Valvoline and Mobil. So, if they're both 530 and I'm a quart low, I should be able to just grab some Mobil and chuck it in the engine and be alright. Or if I usually use Valvoline and I decide, oh damn, they ain't got no Valvoline, I don't feel like going across town, let me just grab some 530 Mobil oil. The bottle's damn near the same. They probably owned by the same company. Even if that were true, and I'm not saying it is, even if that were true, the detergents and other additives in the oil are different from grade to grade. From what I understand, even if it's owned by the same company, don't mean it's the same formula for each grade. You can have a 530 from one company that's got more in common with a 530 from another company, and then the 1030 is completely different. Well, for instance, Pennzoil, and we'll get to that later. But right now, yeah, you're trying to make a quick buy, and you see these two on the shelf next to each other. And you just pick one up, even if they're spread out. Because I've been to some places, Valvoline's on one shelf and the Mobil's on another shelf, but it's further down. So you go in, you see it real quick, and then you go grab something else, then you come back, and instead of going to the Valvoline, you go to the Mobil, or vice versa. So what is one to do? Which one actually works long term in your vehicle? I know you're not supposed to skimp on your oil changes, but in today's busy world, let's face it, it's going to be more than just one person that goes 1,000 miles over the limit. And according to some of these oils that the EPA is signing off on, yeah, I said it, the EP freaking A, the oil police. You have to have your oil registered with them. They have to approve it. Heck, for all we know, they're probably the ones that suggesting what oil should go in what engine, for fuel economy's sake. But there are others. In fact, to my surprise, there are some companies who've made a couple of updates and upgrades to their line of oils. Mobil 1, since we're on that subject, Mobil 1 still has the regular Mobil 530. They have like two different versions of 40 weight. 040 FS, and there's another one. It's got like a green label on it. They still have their extended version. Maybe that was another reason why Valvoline, I don't know. Now that I think about it, you guys, Valvoline switched their extended protection to restore and protect. Mobil is still using the term extended protection. And they both have red, white, and blue colors. So, what do you think's going on with that? Some kind of turf war over the use of certain designs? I don't know. Let me know what you think. But aside from that, Mobil 1 has managed to squeeze out, I don't know, maybe the scientists got frustrated, was like, you know what, damn it, I'm going to take some of this, and a little bit of this, add your base, now leave me alone, I got other stuff to do. And they end up coming out with a truck and SUV version of the advanced full synthetic. So I'm reading the label in the store. I'm like, okay. And I thought maybe my eyes was tweaking, but they still sell the original 530 advanced full synthetic. Matter of fact, I just had that bottle. As a matter of fact, here we go. So, Mobil 1 protects for 10,000 miles, guaranteed. Now, some people would tell you that that's a lie. It's not going to protect for 10,000 miles. But by the time it gets to 10,000 miles, your additive package is gone. Not to mention, it starts off with a low add package. However, I don't know anybody that's actually tested the truck and SUV formula. To date, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure somebody like Ford Boss, I'm pretty sure a couple of his subscribers have questioned him on that. I'd have to check back. I know there's got to be a video out by now. But yeah, now they're selling both of them at the same time. So what's the difference? Does it have extra additives? Does it, or should I say, does it have more additives in it than the regular Advanced Full Synthetic? Like, what's going on with that? They're both 10,000 miles. They're both 530, as you can see. They both have the Starburst. They both say Dexos 1 approved. In fact, let's see. 3. That's generation 3. And that's generation 3. So what the heck? I don't get it. I can see if this one was phased out, if the old one was phased out, and then they started using this. But this one is specifically saying truck and SUV, so it's got to have something in it, or something more than the regular Advance. Anybody got any idea of what that might be? Talk about it in the comments below. Moving right along. So, excuse me, Valvoline has updated their premium full synthetic. Restore and protect. Oh, ain't that sweet? That's so nice. Then, of course, Mobil 1 has done something similar. They've got an update with the trucking SUV formula. But wait, there's more. Who can forget? Get over there. Who can forget the Pennzoil Platinum? I wasn't able to find the Ultra Platinum, so I just went with the Platinum. I'd heard about the Ultra Platinum online, but I didn't actually see it. I went to 3 different places, and I didn't see it. And like, was that just some type of ploy? Was that a misstep on their part, calling it Ultra Platinum? But then when I looked at some more videos, I'm seeing that yes, there is an actual Platinum, but for some reason it is elusive. I mean, it's certain places you can go and find it, but just outright going to the store and seeing it on the shelf, very elusive. I don't know what's in it, but they are keeping it tight-lipped, very tight-lipped. I heard that it doesn't even have the Dexos symbol on it. But remember, neither does the new Valvoline Premium. It doesn't have Dexos on it. But yet still, you can find that on the shelf. So what's going on over there at the Pennzoil camp that they don't want nobody to know? What's going on with that? And as if that wasn't enough, Quaker State and Pennzoil were in a relationship long time ago, and they've kept that relationship going. At some point they were bought out by a bigger company. You know, it's like an adoption. You know, you can't break up the siblings. You take one sibling, you got to take the other one. So Pennzoil upgrades, and they come out with a Platinum. Wasn't good enough. Platinum is good, but they felt like they could do better. So of course they come out with an Ultra Platinum, and they didn't run it by Dexos. They didn't run it by GM. GM might be feeling like, hey, what's going on? Y'all usually holler at us, but you've been kind of quiet lately. Oh, we good. We good over here. You know, ain't nothing going on right there. So, yeah. They gave us the platinum. They gave us the ultra platinum, but the ultra platinum, from what I hear, doesn't have the Dexos label at the bottom. Quaker State got it. Mobil 1 got it. And the crazy part is, there is an additive company, whole additive company, that is co-owned by ExxonMobil. Yes, ExxonMobil, the same people that recently made the Mobil 1 truck and SUV formula. And the other owner, or one of the other owners, I don't know how many people invested in, how many companies invested stock in this here thing. But like I said, Pennzoil and Quaker State, siblings. I don't know which one's older. I'm assuming it's Pennzoil, but I could be wrong. Either way, they all use the same additive company. And my question was, a while back, was if Pennzoil has a platinum and an ultra platinum, then why don't Quaker State come out with something new? Well, my question was answered. After I made that video, my question was answered. They did come out with a new version. Not only did they come out with a new version, this bottle says 20,000 miles, y'all. I kid you not. I don't know why they got this shiny, reflective label on there, but yeah. Dexos 1, Generation 3. And it says Ultimate Protection, Full Synthetic. 20,000 miles or 1 year protection guaranteed. Now, I feel like there's a catch to that. I don't know how true that is, but I'm willing to find out. I made a video a while back saying how this was a decent oil. Well, not the ultimate. At the time, it was the regular full synthetic, and I said it was a decent oil. But if they've made improvements, I'd like to know, what improvements did they make? How long will it actually last? Not to mention, I don't think anybody's gonna actually go 20,000 miles. There might be a few very, very few people that might actually put it to the test. I'm not one of them. I might go 10,000, but I won't go beyond that. I have my limitations. But anyway, so I've got options. I can go with this truck and SUV formula from Mobil. I can try Pennzoil again. Or I could go with Quaker State. It's not the best, but I know it'll work. I don't know how long it's going to work, but it will work. It'll quiet the engine down. It'll do some cleaning. Is it going to clean it up to my liking? Don't know. But you know, I think I'm just going to stick with Castro for now. Yeah. Castro for me has been better than Quaker State. The one bottle of Mobil, it worked, but the one bottle of Castro that I used initially, it worked better. And with the Pennzoil, I don't know, man. I don't know. Pennzoil, it started out great. When I was going to the shop, it quieted the engine down. It did the little cleaning thing with the detergents. But for my busy life at that time, I needed to go 10,000 miles and it wasn't going with me. If I had took a shorter interval, everything would have lined up and I could have just swapped it out for some fresh Pennzoil and kept it moving. So, is Pennzoil a bad oil? No. On the back of the bottle, it specifically says Ford and Chrysler. So, of course, Ford and Chrysler are going to get more out of the oil than GM's. Not that you can't use it, but you can't take, in my opinion, you can't take longer intervals with the oil that's not specifically designed for that vehicle. Now, from what I've heard, some vehicles, they use certain oils like Mobil 1 and 040, for instance. But there's a lot of people that have questions about the new Pennzoil formula. So, you know, I've heard things. I've heard whispers on the internet. But yeah, for right now, I'm going to let the professionals try the new Pennzoil. And then I'll, after I look at the information again, I'll decide. I'm always going to have a backup just in case I can't get to my Castro. But which one will it be? Will it be the Pennzoil? Will I stay with the Quaker State? Or will I go to Mobil as my backup? Who knows? And before I leave, one more thing. It has been said by numerous people that when you drain your oil, you do not get all the oil out. So even though I'm using going back to Castro, that means that there's going to be some residual oil from my last oil change, unless I do a double flush. And that's something I'll talk about in another video. This one went way too long. But don't worry, we'll chat again. I gotta clean up and get ready for my oil change, and I'll see you guys out on the road.